Hello everybody, welcome back to Hyperlemon GT. It's been just a blink of an eye since our last video. Today actually though, we're not on Gran Turismo. We are on Asseto Corsa Competitioone, so trying out a new game. I have done a little bit of practice offline, a couple of online races, and now we have jumped into an open lobby with a grid of 25 cars. Now I can only assume that my driver rating is pretty low and that they have driver skill matching on this game. So the grid is probably not going to be very strong. And honestly, judging by the start procedure, it is utter chaos. So you're supposed to keep your car in line with that little green bar on the top center of the screen, just below the mirror. I don't know how many cars are following that, maybe 2, 3. Let's get a little bit more organized now. Now we have a speed limit of 70 kilometers an hour as we wait for the green light. Again, the cars are everywhere. And the green light comes, away we go. Pretty poor reaction time from the majority of the grid there, so we make up a few positions. And brave, I go down the inside of that BMW. He doesn't sideswipe us. This other one does, however. Now, into the chicane of death. Do we get swiped? Yes, yes, we do. The inevitability of a wipeout in turn 1 at Monza. It's just amazing. So we cut the chicane. I mean, fair enough, right? We got wiped out. Absolute chaos after the chicane even. How do people end up off the road after the chicane there? They managed it anyway. And now, utter chaos in front of us. Again, people spinning. How do they spin before the corner? That far before? Absolute carnage, wow. So we made up a few positions there. I think we're in P9. Started P23. Another chap decides to go to the beach. Maybe he wants a holiday. The chap in front in the Ferrari though, he seems reasonably competent, so it's good. But how come we've moved down to P12 now? We keep dropping positions, but we're not being overtaken. Bit of a confusing thing. I think the positions only update at the sector time, so 3 updates on position per lap on this game, I think. We're getting a lot of oversteer there. And now, along one of the many long straights at Monza. Monza has many straights, many of them long. It also has many chicanes. And now we are not going into a chicane, but the Porsche has gone wide, and of course he just drives straight in front of the Ferrari, which compromises his exit and gives us a nice overtaking opportunity. So now we are in the slipstream of the Porsche, which is in the nice Grello colours, and he brakes supremely early, and the Ferrari decides, yes, let's sideswipe that guy. I go over the speed bumps and I decide to get quite aggressive with him and just ram him into the beach. And the Porsche decides to have a bit of a nudge at the side of me as well, but thankfully doesn't take me out. So now apparently we're in P6. Not bad for starting P23. The car goes a little bit sideways there under braking into the entry of that corner. And I know the exit of that was pretty decent. Now going into Lesmo 1. And I think the next one is Lesmo 2. Nicely hitting the apex, going out onto the curb, getting a decent exit. And now we're gaining on the car in front. Again, long straight. Not much happening. Going under a bridge, going under another bridge, going into another chicane. So we get a decent exit. Guy in the McLaren goes a little bit wide. We're also in the McLaren, by the way. No. 720S GT3, and a guy decides to have a park up there. Maybe want to go for a beer. I thought that would be a good place to park. I think if in the infield you do have a beer tent. So we skip a lap forward. We're now following. Oh, the guy is still having his beer. Yeah, so we caught up with the next car, which is a Nissan GTR. He goes wide. I'm understeering a bit. Crashes into me when he comes back onto the circuit. I mean, I should have really expected that, shouldn't I? I should have given more room. I mean, it is his responsibility. He went off track. He should have not hit me when he came back on track. But the lobby isn't that great, so yeah, I should have left him in. But anyway, what position are we in now? We're in P3, and there's P1 and P2. So, 2 Lamborghinis going off-road. Maybe it's the new off-road Lamborghini. And wow, yeah, one of them just got sideswiped massively by the guy in P1. I guess that's how you beat the competition. Destroy their car. So obviously now I'm quite hesitant to overtake this chap in the Lamborghini, because, well, we see what he does to people who try to overtake him. So, going into Lesmo 1, the chap in the Lamborghini wants to go to the beach yet again. And a bit of bouncing as he re-enters, gets the blue flag, gives absolutely zero shits. And he continues on, swerving around on the straight. He's in P1 now, so he's doing pretty well. The question is, can we actually overtake him? He brakes early into the chicane, and he goes wide, goes off the track, and he cuts across, and bam! That's it. My car is knackered. As you can see, the steering does not work. So we quit that race because my car was broken. Couldn't get back to the pits, couldn't repair it. This race I decided to qualify. So starting in P1. That is a risky move, to be honest. As we saw the carnage of the first chicane, I'm right at the front, so probably gonna get absolutely wiped out here. Speed limit is on. And the lights go green. And then boom, I get sideswiped almost immediately. It's about 3 seconds after the race start, he gets sideswiped. Straight into the pit lane wall. So now I'm in like P12 or something. Bit of carnage going on up front as per usual. Some people don't really want to do the chicane. And to be honest, it's quite nice. Got through that chicane relatively well. Here we go. Here's the chap in the green Porsche again. So what position are we in? I think we're in P12 or P6. Oh, again, the chap in the Porsche, he likes to brake very early. A couple of people up front decide to skip the chicane because why not? I mean, they have speed bumps there, so I guess if you can go over the speed bumps at pace, then you're allowed to skip the chicane, I guess. So we're in P7 or P8, somewhere around there. Not great, given that we did start in P1. So this game is the car handles well. It's just the online racing quality, from what I've seen up to now, is limited. Now there's a pack of 4 cars here. It's going to really mean one thing, that carnage will ensue fairly soon. And there we go, the Lamborghini sideswipes me once and twice. But for some reason, he didn't go for a 3rd time. There must be something wrong. And there we go, another one goes and meets the barrier. That Nissan GTR is going slowly. I give him a lot of room. And we do make it pass cleanly, which is pretty impressive. Now we're in P3/P4, following a BMW. Now I do have a bit of a... Oh, wow. Almost got wiped out twice there, but managed to make it through. One guy completely skipped the chicane, while the Nissan GTR skipped a pad on the chicane, but then he got a rubbish exit. So it's weird, like up at the top left hand corner you can see it says P3, but the bottom left hand corner it says I'm in P4. I don't really know what position I'm in. Maybe P4 on the track because the person in P1 has a 30-second penalty. So net position is P3 but track position P4, could be that. So this BMW driver, he seems fairly competent. Not driving off, he's doing a good job. It is a BMW, so the indicators won't work, but we are on a race circuit, so indicators don't really matter. He goes quite wide there. He keeps it under control. Now we have a reasonably good drive here coming out of the chicane, but no, the BMW seems to be holding position nice and strongly there. Until he goes wide. So it gives us that position. So now we're back to P3. Not a whole lot to report on this long straight. What top speed do we get to? 274 kilometers an hour. Not bad. I've been faster in my real car actually. I've been 286 in my car on the autobahn. That was quite exciting. Well, these cars have a lot of downforce, so also a lot of drag, so top speed is not the strong points of these GT3 cars. So just the way the cars bounce over the curbs on this game is just so much more realistic than Gran Turismo. I feel Gran Turismo is a little bit too smooth, but in this game you really do feel the bumps. Feel the understeer a bit more. The car handles a little bit more realistically, but you don't get... Oh, somebody has gone off into the barrier. Oh, and a chap has parked up. He must have again wanted another beer, but that's the wrong place to stop for a beer, so I'm not sure what his plan was there. So now we're in P2/P1. So if we just hold where we are now, theoretically we win the race. But nonetheless, we are gaining massively on P1. Like, I don't know how we're gaining so quickly. I think he must be in the wrong class of car or something, because you can't lose that much time on the straight. But as I was saying, this simulator does feel quite good. But there's one thing it still doesn't get through, which is the weight transfer. When you're driving a real car, the weight transfer is such a big thing. But you don't really feel that in the game. I don't know how you can really replicate that. So we've caught up very quickly with P1 there, who has a 30-second penalty. And it seems like he's not in a Porsche GT3R, it looks like he's in a Porsche GT3 Cup, which is a lot slower than a GT3 car. Somewhere between a GT3 and a GT4 car. But it's a bit odd. How did he enter this race? I don't know. He seems to be very good at drifting though. It's quite a solid drift. The car looks weird, like the physics look weird. I'll go on the outside, but no, I shouldn't have tried that, should I? He wanted to go on a beach holiday with both of us, so... And there he goes, just bucking like a bucking bronco when he re-enters the track. It's very odd. It looks very odd from the outside. I try and go on the outside, but no! He, of course, defends masterfully. So the BMW is now back in contention. So around this chicane, he decides to cut the corner again. And he's again mucking Bronco. You get chucked out of that car pretty soon. And then I try and go around the outside, but no, he just defends like crazy. Yet again, but the BMW, he has decided he is the man to get past. So actually the Porsche goes quite wide, and the BMW goes wide again on the Parabolica. Yeah, I think he needs to practice that corner a little bit. So we're back into P1 now. So we started P1, we ended up, I don't know, P12 maybe at one point after getting sideswiped and then bits and bobs happening. But we're back in P1. Now the BMW, as we said behind, he's pretty decent, this chap. The Porsche decides to just go straight past the chicane, but he does actually get disqualified this time, which honestly I think that's pretty fair. So yeah, we just skipped to the end. There wasn't too much to report there. We just drove around, pulling away a little bit from the BMW. I think we have a 3.4 second gap. And that's it. We take it home for the race win. There's a slow car there. So you notice after the race on this game, you actually drive the car back to the pits or whatever, but you're still driving the car after the line. So I pull over because you have to stop the car before you can go back to the menu and go to the pits. So there we go, P1. Now do let me know what you thought of this game. Do you prefer Gran Turismo or do you prefer the chaos of Asseto Corsa Competitiozione? Let me know in the comments and see you again soon.